Hello, friends, and welcome back to part 2 of Delhi Capitals squad analysis. As you guys have heard, Delhi Capitals has announced a replacement for Chris Woakes in the form of Anrich Nortje. So we have our experts back, and we'll take their views on whether they would like what they make of this replacement, whether it changes their preferred playing 11, and also if uh, it changes Delhi Capitals' chances of making to playoffs. So let's start with Yasir. Yasir, what do you think of this replacement, and does your playing 11 change due to this?
So my playing 11 previously was Dhawan, Shaw, Iyer, Pant, Stoinis, Hetmeyer, Akshar Patel, Harshal, Amit Mishra, Rabada, and Ishant. So now I'll have Anrich Nortje in place of Harshal. So I was previously playing with 3 overseas players. Now I will have 4. And while so now no, I will use so my tactic for using Anrich Nortje would be to use him in the middle overs as an enforcer, because from what little I have personally seen, he is the typical South African hit the deck fast bowler. So he has those hard lengths, so to speak. So I am not sure if he ends up being very good in the power play and in the end overs, then obviously I'll have that as a cushion. But otherwise, I'll use him in the middle overs as an aggressive bowlers to especially to bowl to the Indian domestic batsmen and try to play on their vulnerability against maybe hard length and short ball. So that is my logic of playing him.
So your
So
team will now have only 3 pacers.
yeah.
You will have Ishan and and then spinners would be Mishra, Aksar, and
No, Ishant, Rabada, and Harshal were there. Na? Harshal. So instead of Harshal, Andrich Nortje
yeah.
came.
So 3 pacers and
Three piece,
spinners
two.
would be Mishra, Aksar, and
That's it.
that's it. Okay,
That's it. Yeah.
okay. Manju, what would you do?
Yeah, I would replace Nokia with Lamichane with Nokia. So the attack is going to have both the South African pacers, and along with that we have Chemo Paul is the all-rounder, but he'll also bowl his full quota. And spin attack will be with Ashwin Mishra, and if necessary, Akshar can bowl. So initial part of the tournament is a time when the pitches will be more suitable for pace. So I think if you want to give him a go, it should be in the first few games, and non Sharjah games will be the way to go. Whereas if you go to Sharjah and the slower pitches, you can give Lamichane a go instead of.
Okay, got it. Bala, you also.
Yeah, no, I will change my team. I will remove Arshal Patel and Ishan Sharma, and I will add Nokia and Mishra, so that Akeem Opal will bat at number 7 in my team, and Ashwin at 8. Akshar will stay at 6. Arshal Patel, I won't be playing Arshal Patel. Instead of him, I will have Mishra, and instead of Ishan Sharma, I will have Nokia. So that I will have 3 overseas fast bowlers and 3 Indian spinners. So that would be a new combination as well, in my opinion. Like they will have Leggy, Offie, and SLA, like Ashwin, Akshar, and Mishra, and 3 overseas fast bowlers. One who is suited to UAE conditions, one who is suited to all conditions in Rabada, and the latest addition being Nokia can be used as an enforcer in the middle overs. So that will be my 11. But yeah, the tail kind of starts from 6, but the bowling becomes rock solid, and they can even defend 150. So I will believe in bowling.
Okay. So this is what I've captured it rightly, right? On the screen.
Yes, right.
Okay. So I would probably differ with you guys. I think the team's strategy of getting Nortje is actually a backup for Rabada. And for me, the 11 that they had earlier planned doesn't really change. And so what I think is that they would still want a foreign overseas player at the number 6, number 7 to finish. and it could be Stoinis or Carey. So they are likely to go with that kind of a uh, team composition, and I think that is a good option to have a finisher, because that is also something that they were lacking. And Ishant can still play is really a good bowler, and he can actually bowl up front. So they don't really require that additional seamer to come in. And so in my team, actually I can replace Lamichane with Chemo Paul, as I said in the earlier version also, that Chemo would be required for the death bowling. But apart from that, I think I would like to stay with this. And Ishant has performed well for the team, and I think that combination is better suited uh, for Delhi Capitals. So that is what my opinion is. So I'm actually, I would say that for me, Ishant versus Nortje would not make a lot of difference. So do you guys feel that Nortje is a much better bowler than Ishant?
Yes, obviously, Nortje has raw pace and athletic bowler. Ishant is not doesn't have raw pace and is not a athletic bowler as well, and cannot bowl in the depth as well. So Nortje is a three-dimensional bowler.
True, true. But see, as you also said, the tail has now even started earlier for your team. So the batting becomes a little weak in case the top order doesn't perform. So in that scenario, your team becomes a little vulnerable in my sense.
No guarantee that Stoinis will take take the team home in any scenario. He is a certified failure in my opinion. Like he hasn't done any good in the last for any position. He is at best a good opener, but number six is there is no guarantee that he will make steady the ship if top order fails. So better I will at least strengthen one department to the core.
And if given a choice, it is always best to have a stronger bowling attack. I mean, if ideally you want both, but if there is a choice, then a strong bowling attack is always more has a greater advantage.
True, true. So it is as is said that batsmen can win you matches, but bowlers will win you the tournament. So in that sense, yes, but obviously a finisher is important in that in a T20 kind of a match. So let's see. I think it's good to have different opinions. So
My only one opinion that I have is one view that I have is if with a strong bowling attack, then you are looking at possibly a relatively lower scores to defend. But with the kind of lineup that DC has, they're either going to score very high or they're going to score a little too low, in the sense that they're a little inexperienced and a lot of flamboyance is there. So that is one interesting dynamic to see. I mean, in terms of the batting scores that these guys put up.
yeah. So do you guys also think that their chances with this addition, there are significant changes or improvement in their chances of qualifying for the playoffs or winning the trophy? Bala?
No, I don't think so. This doesn't do any good. Not as a very good addition, but obviously this team isn't going to help them in any way, in my opinion, because when compared to other seven teams, they at best rank at sixth in my view. So they are not gonna make playoffs. At least maybe if Punt or Redmire has a crazy season, then they might just sneak in. But I don't think that there's a possibility. Punt might have a crazy season, but I don't think as a whole they might click. And obviously their tail starts from six, so it's obviously not a good sign for any T20 team.
Hmm. So your team somehow resembles an SRH of previous years, where you had a very strong top order and a very good bowling, but the middle is a little shaky.
Yes, but they had a Warner who was, the best T20 batsman. Here they have punt at number four, and if something goes wrong for punt, if he, no, if he cannot come into the crease at the right time, then everything can go wayward. But not that's not the case in Warner's scenario. Right, as far as he will come, he will open the innings, he will pace the innings, he knows what to do, he reads the game, everything. He controls everything. But punt comes in the middle order, and not exactly everything in his control. So
True, true. Manju, your views?
Yeah, mainly reason I'm including Nokia is everyone is coming out of a lockdown. And what I've seen in the recent test matches is the batsmen have had a trouble adjusting instantly. So if that way one game comes together, these people can shoot out the opposition for 110 or 100 like that. So the odd games, just to get the head start, you can include him. It is a disconcerting pace. Not many Indian stars of all the franchises would like to face that kind of pace. So it's a gamble, but worth taking initially. Not in the second half when already everything is dusted. Then you can't experiment in that way. So
Got it. And your views on their chances to qualify?
definitely, if the bowling unit fires and like if they get a good opening partnership, their main weakness has been the power play scores. If you see in last few years, so if they are able to get through the power play by scoring 60, 70 with one wicket, they can at least have a chance, like a platform to score well. So that's the reason why I had Rahane at the top in my team, just to give a chance that a semi-defensive batsman might as well. It's better to go for glory. It's better to have a semi-defensive ploy.
So you were always saying that DC will qualify, but
Yes.
according to you, this doesn't really change much. They still
No.
have that chance, but
Yes.
not a very favorable
Yeah,
kind of
and one more element of their thing is the captaincy. So like over the last years, like when Gambhir stepped down, so we don't know what is the leadership group and like how are they going to help Iyer. So sometimes Shreyas Iyer is young, he can get overwhelmed by all the pressure situation. So I don't know if Ashwin plays, he can in that way he can help him by good
Ye-
inputs.
yeah, Ashwin, Rahane also, if
Yeah,
he's
these
playing.
senior pros, if they are there in the side, it can be a help for even a tactical aspect. So that is one part we can see.
Right. Yasir?
So I had them finishing in the top playoffs earlier as well. So with this addition, while it will boost them, it's not going to be a major factor. That's what I believe in their fortune. And ultimately, it will depend upon Iyer, just said, is a green captain in that sense. So it it depends on what kind of support he gets from the management. That becomes crucial for them.
Yeah, but I think the initial impression of Iyer is, I think that he's quite good, and he's taken the team into a very good cohesive unit, and that has actually helped the team. So in that sense, I think they've looked at a long-term perspective and chosen him, and he's also been performing. So in that sense, I think he has been good for DC, right?
Yes.
And so the last question could be that is this uh, a appropriate addition to the team, or do you think that they could have made a better decision? Bala?
yes, obviously they could have made a better decision. There are so many decision, good players out there. They just didn't. In my view, they just didn't scout properly. That's what I will say. See, there are many options available. Manindo Asaranga is one option, or Kyle Jamieson, who is an all-round bowler. I know you can also.
Bala, you've gone on mute.
Yeah, he can also. Yeah, I was talking about Jamieson. So Jamieson can also bat a bit. So he can, solve the issue of a long tail. And they have gone in for an out and out fast bowler. This is not a bad move. I was expecting Evan Lewis kind of a replacement because they love to, give openers. But this is somewhat a good move. So I don't mind. Okay, but obviously this could have been much, much, much better.
So that's why when I talked about my team, I think this is in their strategy. Maybe that Stoinis or Carey would be able to handle that finisher middle order role, and maybe that's why they didn't even feel that they need to fill that gap. And that's why they were, so as we discussed, there were two loopholes in the team. One was the finisher and other was a backup for Rabada. So both needed to be filled and they filled one. So that is maybe they're thinking that they do not require the other one, they have confidence.
Yes, that's why I am not confident of making them playoffs.
Okay. So Manju, what your views? Did they make a good choice, or you thought that they could have done something?
No, it's like if you see how SRH uses Billy Stanley. So, but the thing with SRH is they have other resources to make up. So similarly, like, do DC have the other resources, like to have Nortje as backup? So that also we have to look at. So that way, the on paper at least the attack is quite good. And if Chemo Paul comes back into his proper bowling form, then he can also be like a not an all rounder but a good bowling option as well. So that way it's okay. Like, I don't know who else could they have got. Maybe another wrist spinner. All these things we can just speculate, but I don't know what would be the correct pick. So
Yasir?
I think they have gone for sort of a safe or a defensive option, in the sense that Nokia provides them a backup in case Rabada is not fit. There were some fitness issues with him previously as well. So if Rabada not been there, suddenly yeah, adversely impacts the team. So they want to protect that from happening. So more than going for an aggressive option, they have gone for a defensive safe option.
Maybe, yeah. Right. So let's see. So we hope that the team is able to do well, and maybe Stoinis or Carey can fit into the team, and they are able to perform well, and especially start well. As Bala said, that for them starting well is quite important. So if they can start well, maybe that uh, will help them in the later stages to qualify. So I think that should be good. So thanks Bala and Manju for coming back
So guys,
for the
thank you
part
so much.
2 of this podcast, and
thank you.
uh, hopefully the team would perform well, and we hope to have a good IPL.
Yeah,
So
I was
thanks.
Yeah,
3 weeks
thank you.
to finish it.